Hello everyone, Dave from Polypad here, and in this Polypad pointer video, I'm going to show a few ways to model adding fractions with unlike denominators on Polypad. So here is a Polypad canvas. I'll put the link to this in the comments of the video, and I'm going to grab a fourth fraction bar. I'll use this black tab to make it 3/4, and then let me get 5/6 on the canvas as well. So this would be a very introductory canvas that I would use with students. Maybe I'd have it projected on the board and just have a class discussion about it. Maybe have them explore it in pairs. However you think is the best way to engage in this activity with your students. But the first thing I might do is just have students make a prediction. I don't know, it seems like 1.5 or so. So I'm going to go to the equation tool at the bottom, click on that. I will enter 1/2 and then use the arrow on my keyboard to enter the whole number 1. 1 and 1/2 did not change the balance scale, so this answer is more than 1.5. Maybe I'll change my guess to 1 2/3, hit return, and I see that that answer is too high, so I'm making an estimate of the sum of this. It's somewhere between 1.5 and 1 2/3. And I like that students can just see this on the number line. So they have a sense of what this should be about. And for a first way to think about why common denominators can be helpful here, I'm going to use a feature where I'm going to change the number of divisions on the number line. You can see the space between the whole numbers are divided into one space. And when I click on the number line, at the bottom under the action bar, the only option is to change the number of divisions. So if I change this to 2 and stop here, I can see that in fact 3/4 plus 5/6 is indeed above 1.5 because I see that half mark on the number line. If I change the divisions to 3, I'll see that it's less than 1 2/3. So at this point, I might stop the activity as a whole class, share the link with students, have them try to explore changing the number of divisions to come up with an answer to this problem of 3/4 plus 5/6. I could go to fourths and fifths, sixths, sevenths. I love this first question that I have here because it seems like, if I'm not looking super carefully, that is a really close answer to this question. That is 7 divisions, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Perhaps 1 4/7 is the answer to this. When I do that, I can see that the answer to this is a little bit more than 1 4/7. If I zoom in here, I can see that that bar is a little bit above that. So that's a really good approximation to this, but not the exact answer. And as I continue to explore the number of divisions, 8, 9, I could have students make some estimates along the way. And when I get to 12 divisions, it seems to end right at that mark. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 twelfths. So the answer here is 1 7/12. So let me hit return. And I see they're balanced. And if I wanted to, I could copy these pieces. So I copied the fourth and the sixth. And I'm going to take advantage of the rename option on the fraction bar. And when I click this, I can see the fourths is going to change into eighths and then to twelfths. So that matches up with the marks on the number line. I can do the same with the sixth and get to twelfths. And I can see that that is the size of the piece that matches up with the number of divisions to get me to that answer of 1 7/12. If I wanted to, I could add on a 1 whole and then drag this to show 7/12. And I see that answer of 1 7/12. I could then make up a couple different examples for my students to explore. And then eventually I would share a Polypad with them like this. Again, I'll put the link in the comments of this video. But now you can see when I click on the number line, there's no option to change the number of divisions. So now I've removed that ability, like I've removed that scaffold to see the number of divisions, and students need to think about what size piece will allow them to get to an answer to 3/4 plus 4/5. So let me show you how I might model this with students. Here's 3/4, here's 4/5. There's 3/4 plus 4/5. And I'm going to take these and copy them, again, just like I did before. So I have the original fraction addition question as well as what I'm going to change the fraction pieces to underneath. So I might say, ooh, this is eighths and this is tenths. And here, what I like to do with students is, as I'm changing the name of the fraction bars, I want to change it on the balance scale as well, just to get that confirmation that with these different names, these things have the same value. So I have 6/8. I'm using the arrows on my keyboard to move over. That's 8/10. Maybe I'll make an estimation of this answer now. Let's see, is it 1.5? No, it's not 1.5. I could make that bigger if I wanted to. I'm going to copy this and put it at the bottom here. Again, just to keep track of the different ways that I've named these fraction bars. So I'll do this one. I get to 12ths and 15ths. So again, I could go up here and say, what is that? 9/12ths. And let's say I make a mistake and I do 10/15ths and I hit enter. I see that, oh, that's not balanced. And so this is actually 12/15ths, I think. Yep. So I'll copy that, put it down here. And I would continue to try to find these where it's the same number of pieces. Again, I could go to this scale and I could enter in the number of 16ths and the number of 20ths. And finally, when I hit this option to rename on the 16ths, I can see them both as 20ths. I could go through and I could count the number of 20ths, or I might stop here and say, look, in these fourths, each of these fourths is split up into 5 20ths. That's 5 pieces. There are 3 of them. So that will give me 15 20ths, 5 20ths in each of those fourths. So there's 15 20ths. I might do the same thing with the pen tool on the fifths, that each of these is split up into 4 pieces. There's 4 pieces with 4 pieces in each. So that will get me to 16 20ths. Again, if this is the first time or even the second or third time I'm doing this with students, I'm not yet talking about how 4 times 5 is 20 and 3 times 5 is 15. I'm showing this on the fraction bar so they can begin to make those connections on their own and eventually get to the point where they're not doing these calculations with the fraction bars on Polypad. Now I'll go over here and I will enter in 31/20. That balances. So I think I have found the correct fraction. If I wanted to make this a mixed number, I could certainly make it 1 and 11/20. Let's see if I did that correctly. Nice. If I had made a mistake, I get this feedback on the balance scale that that's not yet the right answer. And if I wanted to, again, I could take the 1 fraction bar, copy the 20ths, and show that it is indeed 1 and 11/20. Awesome. So a couple ways to show and think about how to add fractions with the fraction bars on Polypad. In this first way, I'm using the number of divisions on the number line to get students to think about why common denominators are helpful. They can give me an exact answer on the number line. And then in this next piece, I've taken away the ability to change the number of divisions on the number line. So students have to think about common denominators a little bit more on their own. There is a video on our YouTube channel in our tutorial section called Changing Polypad Settings. You can go watch that video to learn about all the ways to fully customize a Polypad. Here, you can see I've limited the tiles available. I fixed the size of the Polypad canvas. And on this one, I could change the number of divisions on the number line. And on this one, I cannot. We have another video in the Polypad pointer playlist that is Adding Fractions Part 2, which is a video on how students can get additional practice with adding fractions with unlike denominators. So check that one out as well. Thanks for watching.